And the transition is hard. I'm not here to give you a sentence. I'm here to give you the process. And the first process is understanding that you just had a big life change. And that's a lot to process. Welcome to Just Joy Creative. This channel is dedicated to reminding you of how important it is that you are here and having conversations that show you your true value. So if that's something that interests you, click the follow, subscribe button below and stick around for this video today where we're going to talk about what it looks like to transition through job loss. Because that is something that I have experienced and I know many of us watching this have also experienced. So stick around and let's get chatting. So my name is Joy and I'm the creator behind Just Joy Creative. About a year ago, over a year ago now, I actually left what was considered a dream job. I was a professor at a small community college and the writing was on the wall that I was going to get laid off within the year. Basically, I did get a soft layoff from my manager saying that I needed to go to other departments in my school to try to find hours. And at the same time, they offered a buyout program where they said we would pay you for a certain period of time for you to go and figure out what to do with your life, so you are no longer our responsibility. And so because I could see the writing on the wall, I was pretty low in seniority, I decided to take that buyout program and start this journey that I had no idea what it was going to look like, because it was just as scary as honestly getting laid off and not knowing what you wanted to do with the rest of your life, and knowing that you needed to get back into a job. But I did have a bit of a cushion and I'm very, very, very thankful for that. So in this last year and a half, I've gone on a bit of a journey, and I want to talk to you about that journey because I don't think that I got laid off and then I got a new job is really the full story. And so if you've heard that a lot, I got laid off, got a new job, and you really are still kind of like, there's more to the story than that because I'm feeling all these feelings. No, this is the space to have that conversation because I think it's right and healthy for us to be honest with the process. And so I want to do that with you today. So let's be honest. Number one piece that I would say that I had to go through when I first agreed to leave and then processing leaving and all of that meant was I had to grieve what I was losing. And for me, I was losing the classroom dynamic. The students are why I loved my job. And you can't ever really create that in other environments where you are so invested for 2 years in these students' lives and their successes. And you see their creativity and you are encouraging it and you are helping nurture it while also educating them towards a skill set. And I taught photography. And like that, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't imagine not doing that. And there was this whole kind of like, whoa, who am I without the classroom? Now, obviously, there's parts that we will rejoice when we leave a job of the parts that were stressful and in some ways could be like just not a healthy environment to be working in. And so there's always going to be the back and forth. But what I want us to start with in this conversation right now is grieving. That is the number one thing I want you to take away from this first video, is that it's okay to grieve what you lost. Even if it wasn't the greatest job, but it was paying your bills and it was job security or whatever it was potentially for you, or you actually just genuinely loved your job, but with this economy, it got cut. I just, first of all, want to give you permission that you are allowed to be grieving the loss of something, good or bad. And I don't want you to rush past that. Because if you push those feelings down and you don't feel them in this journey that you're about to go on in transition, whether you do end up getting a new job quite quickly, you still need to grieve what was and what isn't any longer. Because otherwise you're going to always be dreaming about what was in that job and you're not even going to be able to settle into your new job, into the new provision that you need to get. And so I just want to qualify the feelings that you're feeling of sadness, of loss. And I want to just encourage you to stay there for a minute with me. You don't have to stay there for long, but maybe ask the question, what am I actually grieving? What are you grieving about leaving this job? It's a really important question. What it does is it allows your brain to really calm down the spiraling thoughts of what you could have done better, what you could have changed. And a lot of it might come down to you couldn't have changed. There's so many things happening these days. And it allows your heart to actually grieve what it's missing. And then from there, you can start to process. Maybe you are in transition and haven't found work yet. What is it that you're looking for in your next job? Or maybe you're into another position and there's things that are coming up about that last job and you need to sit in that for a minute and know so that your heart can feel like it can engage back into this new job. And don't worry, I will say this, you're going to be okay. But you have to feel the feelings of the transition. And the transition is hard. I'm not here to give you a sentence. I'm here to give you the process. And the first process is understanding that you just had a big life change. And that's a lot to process. But also know, I'm standing here talking to you because I am evidence that it's going to be okay. You're going to make it through this. You are doing a good job. And so allow yourself to settle for a minute, whether it's in this video, after this video, sometime this weekend, sometime in an evening this week, grab it and say, I'm going to sit for a minute and just process what I am grieving in the loss of being let go, of leaving that job, or for making that transition. Can you do that with me? You have permission. I give you permission to do that. Okay. I'm proud of you. And we're going to stop there for today. I'm going to have another video coming up on the next process of like how to define yourself outside of your job, which is a whole other thing that you really want to make sure that you process before you head in just to get to the next job. It's a really important part of this transition journey. But right now, I just want us to sit in this and I just want to remind you of how important it is that you are here. I am so thankful that you are here. You are not alone going through this. You are not. So reach out to your loved ones, comment below and tell us your story so we can be there with you. And I say we for all the other people also watching with you and me right now. And in the midst of it all, know that you are loved and you are seen. So important that you know that. So thank you for clicking on this video. If this meant something to you, please comment and like and let us know. I am excited to see the growth that is about to happen for you because I know the growth that has happened for me and I know it can happen for you too. Let this not be a sentence, but let this be a journey that we transition together.